beings are social animals. Our lives and survival depend on one another. Our connections to others are key not only to our survival, but to our happiness and well-being. Some groups of individuals are considered more vulnerable than others and may need more assistance. These groups include elders, those who are 65 years or older, and dependent adults, those who are between ages 18 and 64 and have physical or mental limitations that restrict their ability to carry out normal activities or protect their rights. As members of society, we should all help one another. We should especially assist potentially vulnerable groups like elders and dependent adults. Some individuals known as mandated reporters actually have a legal obligation to assist elders and dependent adults in certain situations. Mandated reporters are people who have assumed full or intermittent responsibility for the care or custody of an elder or dependent adult. Mandated reporters include care custodians, like personal caregivers, animal control workers, and firefighters, health practitioners like therapists and nurses, clergy like priests, imams, rabbis, and Buddhist monks, employees of a county welfare department like eligibility workers and adult protective services investigators, law enforcement personnel like police officers, officers and employees of financial institutions like bank tellers and account managers. As a mandated reporter, you must file a report when you observe, have knowledge of, are told about, or reasonably suspect that an elder or dependent adult is being abused. Abuse is any intentional or careless act that causes harm or serious risk of harm to an elder or dependent adult. This includes physical abuse. Abandonment. Abduction. Isolation. Financial abuse. Neglect. And self-neglect. You may be wondering, how do I report abuse? If you observe, have knowledge of, are told about, or reasonably suspect that an elder or dependent adult is being abused, and the abuse occurs outside of a long-term care facility, state mental hospital, or state development center, a report should be filed with Adult Protective Services online or by calling the 24-hour abuse hotline at 877-477-3646. Reports must be filed immediately or as soon as possible. If you report by telephone, you must also submit a written or online report within 2 working days. If there is a serious injury or in a case of emergency, call 911. When an Adult Protective Services report is filed, an Adult Protective Services social worker will usually meet with the elder or dependent adult and work with him or her to come up with a plan to improve the situation. In an effort to stabilize crisis situations, Adult Protective Services social workers will provide crisis intervention services to elders and dependent adults, which may include connecting individuals to various social services or assisting individuals with emergency food, shelter, or transportation. Please remember that mandated reporters are required to file a report of suspected elder and dependent adult abuse. Failing to file a report is a crime. A failure to report is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months in jail or a fine up to $1,000 or both. If you willfully fail to report and the abuse leads to serious injury or death, you can be jailed for up to 1 year, fined for up to $5,000 or both. Civil lawsuits are also possible. Remember, when we help one another, we all benefit.